Welcome to the first video of 2026. First of all, everybody, Happy New Year. I hope your holidays were great. My holidays were up and down. I got sick in the middle of it, which was not on my bingo board, but here we are. The start of my year was off to a interesting start with a bunch of snow, which I was very happy about, until I slipped and hit a parked car with my own car. That was not fun, and my body is still trying to figure out what the hell happened and letting that go. So yeah, I am still not 100%, but we're just gonna keep rolling with it. And today I'm gonna take you through my January TBR. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, it is currently the 9th of January, and one of the readathons that I was participating in, or am participating in, is New Year's-a-thon, which I have about 5 days left on, and have not finished a single book. There is no way that I'm gonna read every single book on this TBR. I was collecting all of the books that I wanted to read this month, and it is very ambitious. Also, some of the books I only have a couple of days to finish them, so we're just gonna see where we get to. Obviously, I'm gonna take it slow. I'm not gonna force myself to read. Reading is supposed to be fun. It is not supposed to be a chore. But this is the books that I had on my list to read for January, and we're just gonna see where we get to. As I mentioned, the first readathon that I joined was the New Year's-a-thon hosted by Donna over at Donna Marie Reads and Manda over at Manda de Biblio. This is, I think, the first time that I'm participating in the New Year's-a-thon, and obviously I wanted to read more of this. I wanted to read more during this time, but the universe seems to have had other plans. So we're just gonna let that be. I'm not gonna feel bad about it. This is just how the cards were dealt for the beginning of the year. Let's hope that doesn't mean that that is a precursor to how the rest of the year is gonna go, but let's go through the New Year's-a-thon prompts. So for the reading prompts, because there are also self-care prompts, but for the reading prompts, we had the first book of the year, which I reckon I'm just gonna double up. It's gonna be the first book that I finish. It's gonna be the first book of the year, obviously. The second prompt is the book I didn't get to in 2025. I'm still on this. I'm still in this. I am currently, hold on, you can't really see. I'm about this far in, which is not far at all, but I am enjoying what I've been reading so far, so that's good. I have been immersive reading it. The audiobook is pretty good. I'm very happy with it, but this is just a thing, isn't it? Because of the holidays and everything got very busy, I just didn't get to it in time to finish it for 2025. So we're starting this in 2026. Another book that I thought I was gonna finish last year, which I'm now gonna be fulfilling with the prompt of the Winter Hopefuls list, is from Look Off With Love. Again, not that far into it. I did start this on, I think, my birthday sprints, if I'm not mistaken, and I wanted to finish this on my birthday, but then I got invited for surprise birthday cake. Not the worst problem to have in the world, but still, want to get to this, want to annotate this book, and just get back to this. This is a reread, by the way. This is a reread. This is a book about two figure skaters who, one seems to be not in her prime anymore, and the other one very much is. And it's an enemies to lovers, if you were wondering. The next prompt was a book I own but haven't touched, which is The Ashes of the Star-Cursed King, which is a book in the Crown of Nyaxia series. It's the third one. Well, I guess officially it's the second one. There's a novella in between, but this is the third book that I'm going to be reading in that series. I'm thinking this might not get read during this month, but we can hope. I do know that the audiobook for this is pretty good, so I will probably be listening to this. I know after this, it might switch characters, which I'm very intrigued about. So I know that there's a lot more books out in this series as of the current moment, and there's even a new one coming out in 2026. So I need to get on this and get up to date. Obviously, still we're going with series, if you hadn't noticed. The next one is a book that I am considering unhauling, which is actually a book I got from a box, So Many Pages, I think it is. So Many Pages box. And it's X's and O's by Amy Leah. I have no idea what this book is about. But it's a short one. And it's just been sitting on my shelf, and it's just one of those books that you get from a book box, and you're more excited about the goodies in the box than the actual book. I don't know this author. If any of you have read this book, or if any of you know of Amy Leah, please let me know, because I am quite curious to see how I'm gonna like it. So if I do not like this, this will be a book that I might try and give it like 100 pages. If I don't vibe with it, it's just going to be a DNF, just because this is just on my shelf. I didn't choose it to be on my shelf. The next prompt was a backlist title that I keep overlooking, which is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, I want to say. I have had this on my shelf for so long. This was one of the first books that I purchased for my new shelf and for my like romance shelf that I wanted in my like bookcase. So this needs to get read because I am starting to notice that more and more people are starting to fall in love with this author, and I have FOMO. I have FOMO. It's as easy as that. So, and this is actually a part of a series. I know, don't come at me. I do need to get to this before I go into anything else from her. Also, the next prompt that I decided to double up on is a book that will hopefully keep you from doom scrolling, which in this case is Brimstone, because after reading Quicksilver and wanting to know what happens now, Brimstone was off to a really good start. I love that fox, is all I'll say. And yeah, it feels like it's starting off a lot slower than I thought it would. But then again, it seems like in the second book now in Brimstone, we're gonna get into the politics of it a little bit more, which I am very curious about. We had a little bit of a hint of it in the first one, but in this one, it seems like we're really gonna get into like court stuff, which I very much enjoy. The last prompt is a free, borrowed, or gifted book, which, as you know, sometimes fate just works out, and I got sent a little bit of a gift box from Hermie over at now Hermieville. They've rebranded their channel, which is The Nightmare Before Christmas. I almost said Christmas. Before Christmas. Could this also fit the Winter Hopefuls? Yes, I think it could. I really do. But yeah, this is an LGBTQIA plus book, and this cover just looks so cute. So, and I'm very curious about the nightmare part. I'm also very curious, where do you fall? The Nightmare Before Christmas, Halloween movie, or like a holiday movie, Christmas movie? What are we thinking? I mean, I am one of those people who's like, why choose? Why not just watch it twice? That is the final prompt for the New Year's-a-thon. Just to give you an idea, it would mean that I would have to finish all of this in 5 days. That's not happening. That is not happening. Now, 2 other mentions that I should tell you guys about is, obviously, I'm also participating and hosting 2 read-alongs, which is we are still going with the Percy Jackson read-along. We are, I think, at the final book of like the original series. I should check this with Paula, but I think I'm correct. And I have been slowing down, which was one of the things. I have already started, I'm halfway in, because we are now at Percy Jackson and the Last Olympian. So that sounds like the end. But I know that Rick Riordan has continued it just very recently. So me and Paula are gonna have to talk about what we're gonna do after this one. But yes, I am very much enjoying it. I am listening to it a lot slower this go around, and I'm just all of the things. I had a very, very different view of what this series is gonna be like, and I'm very happily surprised. I've enjoyed my time in that universe, let me tell you. I really have been enjoying it. And then the other read-along that we are gonna be starting in January is the Throne of Glass read-along that I'm hosting with Donna over at Donna Marie Reads. I am hosting the first read-along sprints on the 17th of January. Wow, that was really hard to say for some reason. But so you can join. I have yet to start this. It has been very difficult to not just start. As you can see, this is unmarked. And I am very much planning on that changing. I will be annotating this book like you cannot believe. I am planning on making notes. I'm going to be writing down quotes. I'm going to be doing all of the things because obviously at the end of all of this in September, both Donna and myself are going to have a little bit of a roundup discussion. There will be, that video will be, or that live will be spoiler filled. So if you want to join, and I've seen a whole bunch of January TBRs where this is on there, so I'm very happy about that. And so feel free to join us. Obviously, those Throne of Glass read-along sprints you can use for whatever you want, but I will be choosing to start Throne of Glass and start the heartache all over again. This is a reread series. I have read this series before, only just the one time, all the way through. So I am now very curious to see which hints there are from the get-go. And then just to make sure that I didn't add too many books, I did look at my TBR that I have, all of this that I now have, and I did check out the yearly readathons that I'm a part of. Now, there are a few bingo boards, which I do just tend to fill out as I go throughout the year. But then there are also yearly readathons that have monthly prompts that this year I really do want to try and keep on top of. If you've seen any of the videos from last year, you will notice that I dropped off. I kind of forgot about the yearly readathons that were happening, and it just wasn't working. For some reason, I think I got distracted with just all of the fun readathons that were happening every single month, and that made it so much harder to focus back on, okay, but there's also these things happening. Two of the readathons that are happening yearly and that have prompts for every single month are the Year of Goober and the Buzzwordathon. Now, for the Year of Goober, if you did not know, which is hosted by Yashi Corinne, we have 2 prompts every single month that we can choose from. And every prompt is linked to a baked good, which is very cute. And for January, we had the choice of the sourdough or the banana bread. And the sourdough was the first book or a prequel. And the banana bread was an overdone trope. And so obviously the first book is going to be Throne of Glass. Obviously. I think this speaks for itself. So the next readathon is the Buzzwordathon that I want to keep on top of. Now, I could just have picked one, like the cover challenge or the title challenge. Yes, I could have, to not overdo myself, but I'm still me. So we have 2 prompts for January. The title prompt was before and after in the title, or before or after in the title. So obviously we're going with A Nightmare Before Christmas. I almost said Christmas again. So even if I do not get to it for the New Year's-a-thon, I can get to it this month and we can tick off this one. And then for the other prompt, which is the cover prompt, is a internal body part that is depicted on the cover. Now, for this one, I have decided to go with If We Were Villains. Now, again, this is a book, I don't have it physically. I do have it on my Kobo, but this is the book for the Hermyville book club pick for the month of January, and it just so happened to perfectly fit. So obviously we're getting to this. This is also a TBR veteran, I should say. This has been on my TBR for quite a while and also just haven't gotten around to it. So if I do end up reading this in the next 5 days, it might also be able to fit a New Year's-a-thon prompt. With that, that is all of the books that I'm going to be reading in January, or hope to be reading in January. Again, the start of the year was quite hectic for me, and it just reminded me to go at my own pace, to not force myself to do anything that I do not want to do. Does that mean that I probably will not get a blackout board for New Year's-a-thon? Yes. Am I an overachiever in the fact that I do not need a blackout board? I can just get a bingo and that is fine. Yes. But you know, here we are. I am very excited again to kind of round out the Percy Jackson read-along and to get started on the Throne of Glass read-along. So there are a lot of fun things happening. Again, all of the sprints that I'm going to be doing are already planned. You can find them on the channel and just click the notification bell. If you're wondering about any of the readathons or read-alongs that I have mentioned, all of them and all of the creators that I've mentioned will be in the description down below. So check all of them out, please. And I will see you all with another video next week. Bye.